Want to know the #1 reason most nonfiction books flop? It's not bad writing. It's not even a lack of effort. It's that the author chose the wrong kind of book from the very start. They pour their heart and soul into it, spend months or even years writing it, only to launch it, crickets. And in this video, I'm breaking down the 4 core types of nonfiction books, what each one does well, where it falls short, and most importantly, which one will actually move the needle in your business. Because if you're not clear on the purpose of your book, the message it needs to deliver, and the outcome you want it to create, you could spend months writing the wrong book and miss the opportunity to stand out, serve your audience, and scale your business. So let's break it down. I'm Ellie Shefi, publisher, strategist, attorney, and 10-time international best-selling author. I help entrepreneurs, coaches, and thought leaders like you write the right book strategically so it actually builds their brand, attracts clients, and creates lasting impact. Now, type 1, the memoir. These books are deeply personal, emotional, raw. They walk the reader through your journey, the highs, the heartbreaks, the hard-won lessons. Memoirs are powerful when your goal is connection, to inspire, to show vulnerability, to build trust with your audience by letting them see behind the curtain. If you've overcome something major, whether that's cancer, abuse, addiction, burnout, betrayal, your story can move people. It can help them heal. But here's the hard truth. Memoirs don't usually build businesses unless they're deeply aligned with your business strategy, and unless you've built in a clear transformation, clear positioning, and clear next steps. Memoir on its own rarely drives leads, clients, or growth. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying don't write one, but what I am saying is don't expect a memoir to do the job of a marketing tool unless it's been intentionally crafted to do so. So if your #1 goal is to inspire and connect emotionally with your readers, a memoir can be a powerful vehicle. Just know you'll need to be strategic if you also want it to build your brand or grow your business. Now, let's move on to the next type, the one most authors think they should write. Type 2, the how-to or educational book. Now, these are the books that walk your reader step by step from point A to point B. They're tactical, they're practical, and they're laser focused on solving a very specific problem. If you're a coach, consultant, or expert who's known for delivering repeatable results, then this book is your opportunity to showcase that process. You're not just sharing knowledge, you're giving the audience your exact roadmap to achieve a transformation, and that builds trust. Now, these books position you as the expert with the answers, which is why they're fantastic for attracting leads, speaking opportunities, podcast invites, and clients who need what you know. But here's the mistake that a lot of authors make. They focus so much on the teaching, they forget the human. They write like a textbook. They strip out of their story, their personality, their lived experience, and while the information might be solid, it's utterly forgettable. So if you're gonna write a how-to or educational book, here's your key. Don't just teach, connect. Infuse your personality, add stories, include real-world examples. Because people don't just buy information, they buy from people they trust to guide them. Now, done right, this type of book can position you as the go-to expert. But done wrong, it becomes another how-to book collecting dust on a shelf. Now, quick check-in. Are you starting to see which type of nonfiction book might be right for you? Because once you know the type, everything else becomes so much easier. Your structure, your tone, your launch strategy, your monetization plan, it all flows from that one decision. But here's the thing. Knowing your book type is just the beginning. To make it work for your brand and your business, you need a strategic plan behind it. That's why I created my free masterclass, How to Strategically Write a Best-Selling Book That Actually Builds Your Business and Your Brand. Inside, I'll walk you through how to strategically write a best-selling book that drives real business results. I'll also cover the 5 paths to publishing and how to choose the one that's right for your goals. And I'll cover how to turn your book into the ultimate client attraction and authority building tool. If you're serious about using your book to grow your brand, your business, and your impact, this is your next step. Watch the full masterclass. It's linked right below this video. You'll walk away with clarity, confidence, and a roadmap to move forward. All right, ready to explore a book type that doesn't just educate, but changes the way people think? Let's dive into the third type of nonfiction book, the big idea or thought leader book. Now, these are the books that shift paradigms. They challenge assumptions. They don't just answer questions, they change the question entirely. Think Start With Why by Simon Sinek, or The 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss, or Blue Ocean Strategy. Now, these aren't step-by-step manuals, they're manifestos. If you're here to introduce a new framework, shake up your industry, or shift how people see a core idea, this is your lane. Big idea and thought leadership books are credibility builders. They position you as a visionary. They're what gets you on TEDx stages, into major media, or quoted in boardrooms. But here's the warning label. These books take more than just experience. They require perspective. You have to distill your insights into a cohesive, compelling idea that others can rally behind. If you can do that, this kind of book becomes a lightning rod for attention. It elevates your brand, earns respect, and sparks conversations that stick. But without strategy, it can get lost. Because readers don't just want new, they want clear. And big ideas only work if you can make them both powerful and accessible. Now let's talk about the type of book I recommend most often to experts who want to build their brand, grow their audience, and attract aligned clients. Type 4, the expert positioning book. Now, this is the go-to format I recommend most often for entrepreneurs, coaches, speakers, and service-based experts. Why? Because it's the perfect balance between credibility, connection, and conversion. You're not just telling your story. You're not just teaching how-to steps. You're weaving your story into your strategy and anchoring both in your proprietary methodology or framework. Now, this book shows readers who you are, what you've overcome, and most importantly, how you can help them. It connects on a human level and it converts on a business level. Done right, your expert positioning book becomes your best lead generator, client attractor, credibility builder, sales tool, and signature authority piece. It's the book that gets you invited to speak, the one that media producers say yes to, the ones that clients read and instantly say, I want to work with you. But here's the key. It has to be strategic. It has to be built with your business goals in mind from day one. Otherwise, it's just another nice read that leads nowhere. So if your goal is to grow your brand, attract your clients, and position yourself as the go-to expert in your niche, this is likely the book you need to write. So let's recap the 4 types of nonfiction books. First, the memoir. Great for powerful connection and inspiration, but not always strategic for business growth. 2, your how-to and educational books. Now, these should be practical and clear, but they risk being forgettable if they lack your unique voice. 3rd, your big idea, thought leadership book. This is your credibility building and visionary vehicle, but it needs clarity and accessibility to land. And 4th, your expert positioning signature process books. Now, this is my top recommendation for entrepreneurs who want to build authority, attract clients, and create long-term business results. If your goal is to attract clients, build credibility, and create long-term business growth, then strategically writing an expert positioning book is almost always the most effective path. Writing a book is an investment of your time, your energy, and your money. Don't waste that investment writing the wrong kind of book. Now, if you're feeling clear on the kind of book you want to write, but unsure on how to actually start, here's your next step. I've created the ultimate library of free resources to help you at every stage of your author journey, from idea to bestseller launch. You'll find everything you need to write your book the right way. So grab your free resources today. They're linked in the description below. And if you're writing an expert positioning or signature process book, the kind that builds your brand, attracts your clients, and turns your knowledge into income, check out my best-selling book bootcamp. Now, if this video gave you clarity, hit that like button, subscribe for more expert author strategies, and share it with a fellow entrepreneur who's ready to write their book with intention. You have a message that matters. Let's make sure your book delivers it strategically, powerfully, and profitably.